Hi artists, welcome to this week's art lesson. Let's get started. I like to start class with a quote. Art is freedom, being able to bend things most people see as a straight line. As artists, we do a lot of line drawings. So today we are going to start class in the way we've been with our blind contour line drawings. Blind means without looking at the paper as you draw, and contour lines are those lines that create the form of an object. Today, we're going to start with a blind contour drawing of our hand. I like to keep my hand on one side of my workstation and then have my paper or journal on the other side. So while I'm drawing, I can look at my hand and not look at my paper over here. You can pause the video to give this a try. Awesome. I hope that went really well. The next warm-up we're going to be doing today is going to be using cross hatching. We're still going to be doing our contour drawings, but this time you can look at the paper. What we're going to do is you're going to find an object in your room to draw. So you want to find an object with a lot of depth or form, like some of these examples on the screen. These are round objects. There's a shoe. Maybe you have some sports equipment or a hat you want to use, or maybe you can go into your kitchen and find an apple or a fruit of some sort. Why don't you go find something right now? Awesome. I hope you're all back now. We are going to talk a little bit about cross-hatching and contour cross-hatching. So looking at this diagram on the screen, shows the value scale of how you artists use cross-hatching to create value. So artists use lines to crisscross over each other and layer them to create different value shades, going from light with no lines all the way to the dark value with lots and lots of lines layering and crisscrossing on top of each other. Another technique I want to share with you all is called contour cross-hatching. We do our contour line warm-ups at the start of class. So we know that the contour lines are the lines that make up an object. Contour cross-hatching uses those contour lines of an object to create the depth by layering more lines, cross-hatching in that contour way. So as you can see in this yellow rectangle, those contour cross-hatching creates the depth or value on the outside of that round shape. Let's give it a try. So hopefully you have your object. If you don't, pause the video and go get one. I've got a boot. You're going to have 3 minutes or however much time you choose for this. I'm going to also do it. You can either pause the video now and set your own timer, or pause the video and draw for as long as you want. Remember, you want to look at the object as you're drawing and add as many lines as you can, layering them over each other, cross-hatching them to create the depth around your object. Let's get started. This is me drawing. Awesome. I hope you had a lot of fun. Here's mine. There's my boot. I love doing exercises to warm up my creative skills before I get started with a new technique or drawing a project. These are things you can do in your free time also before you start on an art project. Today, we are going to look at all of the things we've done throughout the first quarter. We did lines, we did shapes, we did value, texture, color, and space. Y'all have been working so hard on adding all of these toolkits to your art toolbox. In the second quarter, we are going to focus more on layering some techniques together to really push ourselves to have more tools in our toolkit. Today, we're talking about cross-hatching and hatching, and we're going to get an introduction into Chiaroscuro. Hatching and cross-hatching. These are examples of what a value scale can look like with hatching and cross-hatching. Let's practice. On your paper, draw a rectangle, and then break up that rectangle into at least 6 different sections. Then add your hatching. Hatching is when you draw lines to create value. The closer your lines get and the more you have layered together, the darker your value is to create depth. Give it a try. When you're ready, you can start on your cross-hatching value scale. Draw another rectangle and then section it off to create your values in there. Remember, the difference between hatching and cross-hatching is that when you're layering lines in hatching, they all go the same direction. In cross-hatching, the lines cross over each other. So you can create a lot more depth and a lot darker values with cross-hatching. You can pause the video and work on these 2 value scales now, or you can work on them later. I can't wait to see how they come out. Here are some examples of how artists use cross-hatching and hatching to create very dynamic art pieces. What do you notice about all these? I notice that you can see light in each of the pieces. You can tell where the light is hitting an object so that there's a value from light all the way to dark that shows the depth of these figures and objects. This technique really helps artists to create that depth and value using only lines. It's a really great tool for our toolkit. Now let's look at chiaroscuro. Chiaroscuro is an art technique that describes how we represent light to dark in artwork. What do you notice that's the same in all of these pieces? Chiaroscuro is the technique balancing light and dark values to represent patterns of light. Chiaroscuro is an Italian word, and when we break it up, we find that chiaro, which means light or bright, and scuro, which means dark or obscure. When they come together, it's literally light and darkness. When you were looking at those images, did you see those deep, deep darks in the background paired with those lights in the foreground? One way one of my teachers described chiaroscuro work is that it's light coming out of darkness. It was very popular during the Renaissance era. I'll be sure to share some of those pieces with you all in a link. Now it's really your turn to jump into this technique. For your project, you are going to choose any object to draw the form and value with using these techniques. You can use the object you drew earlier or choose something else. What you're going to do is draw the contour lines of that object like we practice at the start of every class, but this time you can use your eyes instead of drawing blindly. And then you can use your cross-hatching and hatching techniques to build up value in the object to create a chiaroscuro effect. The challenge here is to darken the entire background to really push that chiaroscuro effect of light to dark. I think this project is going to be one of your favorite projects this year because of how much value you get to use and layering techniques you've learned already with techniques you're going to grow on this time. I cannot wait to see what you all create. If you have any questions, give me a shout. I'll see you guys soon.